What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So I am recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta's reunion that aired last night, and I just want to kind of give my opinion and point out a lot of things that I noticed about Nene and her narcissistic ways. And I just want to make notice of everything about her that is toxic, and how I think that a lot of the other castmates are starting to see it and point it out, which exposes her for who she really is and how she react to it. So last night, it was like an all-white affair, dress code. And even though the ladies looked nice in the all-white and during the quarantine, so it was like they were in, like squares, like on a Brady Bunch. And I liked it. But I just kind of feel like the dress code was a little over the top, like they did a little bit too much just to say you're sitting at home in the comfort of your own home. I was just saying, in my opinion, why didn't they just wear like a nice top, a nice white blouse or something, just to keep it simple? But of course they had to go all out the way, and even though they were just sitting at home. So anyway, back to Nene and pointing out her narcissistic ways. And a lot of y'all follow me on Twitter. I don't back down on what I say about her on Twitter. I hashtag Housewives of Atlanta. I am talking about her, and this is just something that sticks out the most, that I hope other people will start to notice more and more. And that's just her toxic ways. And it's like she's not even willing to admit to her wrong. Just like a narcissist, when they apologize, their apologies are so fake, you really have to pay attention to the way they even offer an apology. First of all, they're going to always say, if I did something wrong, I apologize, followed by but. And then they want to pinpoint out something that you did to make them react that way. That's how narcissists apologize. And that's how she's known to apologize on the show and on the reunion. But this reunion, I noticed that a lot of the ladies, they called her out for a lot of her behavior during the season. And I like that, and I hope that they start doing it more and more. What I don't like is like Portia is starting to be more of a flying monkey and just be more of a co-signer to everything that Nene did. Even though she was wrong, it's like she just put the blinders on her when they hugged and made up. And Portia was just like crying, and life was so hard without you. And I'm like, how did that make, like, even Candy said, what I don't understand is that when y'all made up, Portia was crying and like life was so hard without you. And Candy said, what made your life so hard without Nene, when Nene like dragged you and talked about you bad, talked about you when you was pregnant? And Portia was like, because I just know that if me and Nene were in a good place, she would have been there for me more than anything when I was going through, like whatever she was going through when she was pregnant. And then Candy was like, she would have been there for you, but she dragged you while you was pregnant. So I was like, what is wrong with Portia? Like, is she now blinded and, just not trying to see the error of Nene's ways? It was like she was just making everything about Nene's behavior excusable just because they had fake made up. It just disgusts me the way Portia is so up behind Nene now. And Nene, trust me, she just soaking it all up. She know that Portia is one of her biggest supplies. So, and she also, it was just this constant back and forth last night on the reunion between Nene and Eva. And a lot of people don't like Eva for certain reasons. I don't have a problem with her. And anybody who's not afraid to go up against Nene and call her out, I'm all for it. Because I'm going to do it myself. I don't care who. All of them can be on her side. But if I notice something about her, I'm going to point it out and I'm going to speak on it. And I don't care who gets mad about it. You don't have to agree with me. This is just something that I see in her. She bragged this season about being on a spiritual journey. She don't even know what a spiritual journey is. She just knows, just like any narcissist, that if it sounds good, I'm going to repeat it because I know that people are going to commend me for it. People are going to give me a pat on the back. You know, it puts them in the spotlight as being, you know, trying to do the right thing. And trust me, she don't know what a spiritual journey is. And she just know by going to therapy or seeing a counselor or whatever and sharing that with people that it's going to make it seem like, well, she's doing the right thing. At least she's working on herself, you know. So that's just like the time when I told y'all about the narc co-worker, and when I told her about me being a celibate. She wanted to throw that word around like if she's celibate, and she's not celibate. She wasn't even celibate then. She just knew that it would make people look at her in a way as, well, that makes it, you know, she's making it known now. Don't even try her. Don't try to come on to her, because she's not, you know, she's not trying to see anybody right now. She's working on herself. Like, girl, that doesn't even look, it don't sound good coming out of your mouth. Because you're throwing it around. You don't even know what you're talking about. You know. And they just mimic everything that they hear from other people. Just to take it on as something that, you know, they're into. Narcissists don't know anything about being on a spiritual journey. That's like the devil himself saying, I know that I'm going to heaven someday. I mean, like, come on now. What else that I noticed about her in a reunion that just really got on my nerves? I mean, of course they're not going to admit to their behavior. They're never going to take responsibility for hurting other people. And even though other people can say, well, I was wrong for doing this, but, you know, it was just a clapback at something that somebody threw my way. Nene gonna try to overtalk them and say, so you're saying that you was right with, you know, responding to somebody, but I'm wrong when I do it. Yes, you're wrong because your intentions are wrong. Your intentions, it's like your clapbacks came at a perfect timing for you so that other people can kind of, you know, just like give her a pass on it. So with narcissists, they pick the perfect time to pretty much tell somebody about themselves, because it makes the argument looks a little valid. It makes their points look valid in the argument. And she always used that on the reunions as a way to defend some of the very vile and disgusting things that she do. It was like the comment that she made during the season about spitting on Kenya. She don't know how to be exposed and just take it and just, you know, just be quiet. Just deal with it. Just sit in your wrong. She don't know how to do that. Her only comeback was, girl, I'll spit on you. And I think that was so disgusting. I was like, if she would have spit on Kenya, I wish Kenya would have picked up something and bat the hell out of her. Baby, let somebody say they're gonna spit on me. Don't make no blank threats. Just do what you gonna do. Because I'm telling you. So, you know, I just think that's something that people just kind of like, even though they know, like her other castmates knew it was wrong for her to say that, to take it that far. It was still like they just wanted her to say, I apologize for saying it, and then that'll make everything all right. Like, see me, I don't give a narcissist. You just can't give a narcissist an easy pass like that. 'Cause first of all, their apologies are empty. They just know what to say at the right time just to get by, because they know you're going to forgive them and everything will be all right. But with Nene, she's a narcissist, so she's going to continue to do these things and say certain things over and over again. It's just a matter of time. And until people notice this about her, it's just going to keep on happening. And so that's why it's so easy for me. She just makes it so easy for someone like me who has dealt with a narcissist to point out her ways. And I'm not going to let up on her. I don't feel bad about what I say about her, because, you know, it's coming from a place of discernment. I know who she really is inside. And so, yeah, just the whole, I'm going to spit on, girl, I spit on you thing. That's just so disgusting. That just goes to show what she really think about her. She pretty much saying she just hate her guts. You know, like she wished that she was dead. Anytime you say you'll spit on somebody. you don't think of them no more than the ground you walk on. And so I just feel like people need to stop excusing her behavior. But I'm starting to notice that Andy is kind of letting her know, like, you got this very evil side of you. And Andy is calling her out on it. Andy even muted her last night. Because when she on one, baby, she be going. And it ain't no stopping her. And it's just be this. I hate when on the reunions they argue. And nobody can get a word in. You can't even interrupt them. What I liked about last night's reunion, since they were streaming, he was able to mute them. That, you know, made them take a time out. And, you know, with Nene, it was just like, no matter how much you tell her, okay, let this person talk, she don't feel like she owed other people the floor, because she loved to stand on her title as being one of the producers of the show. I think she's one of the producers. So she loved to throw in their face, you in my house, and stuff like that. But it's like, okay, so you're one of the producers. They gave you a title to give you more money, and that's all you have to stand on. But you don't have any good ideas to bring to the table, because you're very uneducated. You're not even self-educated. That's why she has such a small vocabulary. Like, to say you're in this position to make certain decisions about the show, you don't even know how to take the opportunity to do so. And so that's why she can only stand on that title and constantly throw that in people's face. But when you know who you are as a person, you know your accomplishments, that doesn't even faze a person who have made something out of nothing, like, and really put in the effort to work hard at getting what they want. And that's what narcissists don't understand. And so that's why it doesn't even, like, make sense to argue with them, because it's like you're arguing with a child. It's like you're just, you know, you're talking to someone who don't have a brain. So, you know, that's another thing that I just wanted to point out. She loved to throw up her title on the show and throw that in people's faces to belittle them and make them feel beneath her. That's what narcissists do. And what else? The last thing I just wanted to point out, well, that last night's reunion was part 1. It's probably going to be a 3-part series. So next week I'm going to also recap and review that one. But yeah, the only thing that really sticks out to me in the show is Nene's behavior. And especially in the reunion, she thought that she was like the queen of the show. And she also mentioned about, you know, it's like when someone is putting her in a place and she can't handle it, she exit herself off the screen. And I was like, let her go. And she did this because she know that they will be checking for her. They'll be calling for her and pretty much begging for her, come back, don't leave. And it's like they need to start to show her that we don't need you here to have a good reunion. When the season that she was not on the show, it was so peaceful. And I don't see how they don't see that. I'm thinking that they're starting to see how much more peaceful it is when she's not on the show, because they're starting to feel a bit more comfortable with calling her out. But at the same time, they kind of feel like she needs to be there because of how they feel inside. Like, them as a person, they don't want to exclude someone because they don't want to see themselves as being like they stooping down to her level. But what they got to understand is that they got to give themselves permission to say, you know, I'm protecting my peace and I don't have to deal with it. And until they start to feel that way, she gonna keep on having them right where she want them. She know that they was gonna call for her and, you know, and be like, Nene, come back, don't leave. We just wanted you to. And so that was right up her alley. And then after a while, a few minutes passed, you know, she came back on the screen. Oh, I just had to go do the number 2 or something like that. And I'm like, and then she say some of the most disgusting things. Like, that is so unladylike, and you're on national TV. Who comes on and announces something like that? Like, you're just a nasty person inside and out. And they kind of laugh off everything that she says, like she's a child, like they're giving her a pass, an excuse to be the way she is. Like, oh, that's just Nene, that's just the way she is. That don't stop giving her excuses for being the way that she is. You know, and I like that Kenya stood on hers and she don't care if you was riding behind her or not. I like a person who can stand on their own too and don't need nobody to rally behind him, because that's how I am. You know, I believe in what I believe in, and I don't care if I'm, you know, I can stand alone on it. I'm glad that Kenya was toe-to-toe with her. At the same time, I wish Kenya would just kind of like start like letting her just have her tantrums and letting her rage. Who cares if she get mad? Let her get mad. Because narcissists, they hate to be called out on who they really are, you know. And Nene, time and time again, she showed you who she is. You're going to either accept it and just let it be, or continue to run behind her. And, you know, she going to keep on giving you the same old, same old. But again, I like how Kenya stayed on her, didn't back down. And I don't like how Portia was just rallying behind her and just being the best flying monkey that she can have, that a narc can have, you know, and co-signing to everything and fighting her battles. Like, girl, stay out of it. It don't even have nothing to do with you. Because when she was dragging you, you know, everybody, they was on your side. And now that she do it to other people, you urge other people to just apologize for her and let bygones be bygones. Like, no, it don't work that way. You know, so that's pretty much all I want to talk about in this video, just to recap the reunion from last night. So y'all leave y'all thoughts down below if y'all watched it. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.